Hey guys, today we're talking about how you can test for a diverging eye. But before we jump right into it, let's define what a diverging eye really means. So a diverging eye consists of uneven muscle tension between both eyeballs. So in essence, when you're going about your day focusing on a specific target, one eye is unable to maintain the same fixation as the other eye. And this is really important because we move and position our body according to what we see. And symmetrical eye movements, symmetrical muscle tension between our eyes allows us to have optimal perception of the world, to calculate distances properly. And because our eyes affect 100% of our brain, they can also influence our posture, our ability to understand what we read, our ability to cope with stress, our digestion, and they can also be the #1 cause behind injury, knee pain, back pain, neck pain, and vertigo. There are actually 12 muscles that are responsible for moving your eyes, all of which are located in 3 different areas in your primitive brain, which means that they can potentially affect other cranial nerves and other adjacent structures. Any asymmetry in the tension of the muscles of your eyes is going to send conflicting information to your brain. Your brain is then going to have to make the best decision based on what you see. And the first area that you're most likely to see these compensations in is in your muscular system. This is when you may have already noticed that one shoulder is lower or that you have one hip that is lower. As a matter of fact, an eye imbalance specifically causes ipsilateral tilts in the frontal plane. You can see from this picture on your screen that his left eye is not looking at the tip of the pen and that the right eye is in fact focusing on the tip of the pen. The problem is that the 2 visual inputs that are going into your brain are of different nature. And this is when confusion begins to happen in the visual system. So identifying an eye imbalance and fixing an eye imbalance is actually really important because it can help you align every single joint in your body, including your spinal cord. As a matter of fact, the pathways that move your eyes are exactly the same pathways that move the intrinsic muscles of your spine reflexogenically. So when we look at neck and head and back mechanisms, we have to start looking at the pathways that are associated with eye movements because they are connected in the brainstem. And this is why you can't actually control voluntarily the intrinsic muscles of your spine. However, you are able to move your arm and control the muscles of your arm consciously, but you cannot actually move C5 on C6 no matter how hard you try. So in other words, your head posture and your upper body position is directly influenced by this reality. Another important point is that your eye muscles communicate with different nuclei in your brain. And this can explain a myriad of other symptoms that you may be experiencing, like being seasick, like falling asleep in front of the TV, like having fear of big spaces, or feeling claustrophobic. It can also affect your digestion and your ability to cope with stress. Luckily, we know from studies and work done in neuroscience that our eye movements also influence other cranial nerves located in our brainstem, like our inner ear and our spinal nerve, which innervates our upper trapezius. These cranial nerves are interconnected by a tract in the brainstem, which is called the medial longitudinal fasciculus. And the purpose of the medial longitudinal fasciculus, the MLF, is to integrate movements of the eyes and of the head. Another reality is that an eye muscle imbalance causes you to carry your body weight unevenly. And we can see that the weight-bearing surfaces on this image are uneven. This translates to body imbalances, and a foot imbalance is actually something that is quite common. 72% of us right now are walking around with a foot imbalance and don't know it. This is really important because the weight-bearing surfaces on your feet affects the mechanics of your ankle, which in turn affects the mechanics of your knee, of your hip, and of your entire spinal column. Whether you're driving a car or playing sports, an eye muscle imbalance can negatively affect your reaction time, but can also cause you to move inefficiently. But this will also be the case for all of the joints that are located between your feet and your eyes. The end result, excessive wear and tear of the joints, increased inflammation throughout the body, an increase in cortisol and stress, which in turn reduces your ability to profit from the ever so important growth hormone, which is produced through exercise and essential for longevity and building muscle mass. So now that you have a better understanding of how an eye imbalance can affect your posture, your body, your longevity, your health, and your performance, let's take a look at how you can identify if there is an eye muscle imbalance. So it's going to be important that the person that you're testing is either sitting down or standing up in a comfortable, non-stressed situation. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab a pen and position it at 90 degrees on their nose. And it's going to be really important that the tip of the pen is right in front of their pupils. You're then going to ask them to look at the tip of the pen. And 9 times out of 10, what you will see is that one eye is actually focusing on the tip of the pen and that the other is not. Now, in order to remedy this situation, what I'm going to propose are some daily eye exercises to add in addition to your daily habits or your healthy routine. And you can perform these exercises by doing really small and slow circles, clockwise circles, right in front of your face. And I'll put a link in the description below of other videos that we've done showing you exactly how to perform these eye exercises. So let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.